If you're a man, you don't cry about it. You take life, the ups and downs. If you're a real man, you never go down, you just stay up. That's why this sport coat costs $800 and that costs $200. And I don't know what that costs, I'd be ashamed to wear it. That's why I'm wearing lizard shoes and a Rolex watch.
Importing it, snorting it, any competition extorting it, anything I want affording it, got enough crack to get forward a hit, turn a saint to a sinner, lose to a winner, whether old school or upbeat, getting my shit's the best, Rick's the best, have your heart beating right out your chest, that Ric Flair like, woo! That Ric Flair like, woo! This is all I do, I got that Ric Flair like, woo! Woo! Styling, profiling, that Ricky make a girl go, woo!
My car is like full of clothes. So
It's all recorded basically, so really take your time, but whenever you're ready to go, I think this is...
Thank you, buddy. I realize that this is like an Adidas thing you gave me, and then you have it again. You have to give it back to me.
do they do food here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do food here. All right, you've reached the program.
I forgot that you were cucking your friend for his own shirt.
He donated to me.
No. He's
I made sure.
Lee,
I was like,
Lee
I gotta
goes
get
to
Pete Scotty
me. He's
some
like,
Black Rifle.
my friend lent me a shirt, and I'm making him, and then I left it at his place, and I'm making him give it back to me. And I'm like,
He reminded me like 5 times today.
Yeah.
It was almost like, I don't give a fuck about seeing you. Just bring the fucking shirt.
Well, because I got the pants now, so
Oh, you need the shirt
I
to
need
go
to
with
match. Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean you got
So
the
it's
pants
heavy on
now?
the Yeah, I got the Adidas pants separately.
Oh, the matching.
The match, but they're not like the same material. They're like a rougher, and they're like baggy, so they're not like the classic, almost like fitted one.
So you're entering your I want to dress up like a Korn member phase.
Yeah, I haven't gone through my Korn member phase yet.
Has it got like the poppers up the sides so you can like
No,
like the Kappa ones?
No, not the old school one. I mean, anyone else used to fucking tear those off their buddy when they would wear them.
tearaways?
Yeah. We did that in high school, right?
Not necessarily Adidas, but Diesel. Remember those Diesel track
with the
pants?
ladies back-to-back logo thing.
Or Kappa. Sorry,
That was Kappa.
Krappa.
I when I was in the 8th grade, one of the guys...
You look like you wore Kappa.
Yeah, no.
Kappa's a sick brand.
He just has that.
I was not Gino. Okay.
Kappa was always just like, you know, you saw as a kid like 2 sexy ladies. Like,
Yeah.
It's like the Playboy bunny. That was a real like. I was like, ooh, that means sex somehow.
I was thinking about tits immediately. Fucking logo worked.
I don't know what that white rabbit means, but I know there's like some symbology and some tunnels.
Yes. Alison
Hugh
Wonderland.
Hefner's house to fucking Jack Nicholson's house.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
James Caan.
James Caan. What was the other one? Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, tunnels as well. Yeah.
That guy's a piece of shit.
Say his name right.
Why is
He's
Warren
a piece
Beatty
of
a piece of shit?
Do you reckon them 3 went in on like a tunnel? Like it was too expensive. It's too expensive to like bore a whole like sex tunnel for yourself.
12-year-old.
Oh, I see.
Anybody who has secret tunnels with other like pervy, creepy guys, you know, is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
We don't just all agree like, hey, you like raping too? Like, yeah, we should dig underground tunnels.
It's called graping right now.
You can't
We're
say it
being
online.
PC. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Which
It annoys me so much when I see the grape
the
signs.
grape and the essay and
Or you can't say porn. You have to say corn.
Unalive.
Yeah, corn is the new one.
Corn.
You want to go half on a grape?
Yeah.
2 grapes. 2 measly.
Split a grape.
I love grape corn.
My favorite kind of corn is grape corn.
Graphic corn.
No, why is Warren Beatty? Is that why? Does he have allegation? Why is Warren Beatty a piece of shit?
He's the rich guy. He's the rich guy who plays with money and lives for fun.
No,
Yeah.
but isn't Warren Beatty the actor?
Yeah. Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of Warren Buffett?
That's right.
I am,
He did
yeah.
call the wrong movie.
Any Warren.
Warrens are pieces of shit. Yeah.
Oh, La La Land. Yeah.
The wrong movie at the Oscars.
Yeah.
He called the
Remember that when they had
No.
It was like
the wrong movie for Best
it was Best Picture, and then he goes La La Land, and then everybody gets up, they're all celebrating, and then he just comes like, oh, sorry guys, this is awkward. It's actually Moonlight.
It's funny because La La Land sounds like the gay of film.
Yeah,
Moonlight.
But the one about the
But Moonlight is the gayest, blackest film. And you know what? Pretty good. Pretty good.
Urban Brokeback Mountain.
So, just him messing up a movie name? Is that why he's a piece of shit?
No, I mean, first of all, he made a lot of shitty-ass movies, and he's a straight-up communist, and I really hate that.
And he dated Madonna. He's a scumbag.
Yeah.
All men who dated Madonna are scumbags. What do you think about it?
He made this movie called Reds.
Three of the
in
scumbags are
80s.
16-year-old Dominican kids.
Epstein. No, he made a movie called Reds in the 80s, and it's like complete communist propaganda.
Oh, really?
And
Who
it's
was this?
Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty.
And he
okay.
was like nominated for like Best Picture and
Yeah.
you know, this is a guy who is actually listed as a traitor with the U.S. government.
Oh, really?
That he portrayed, I should say. Sorry, in the film, but still.
They infiltrate everywhere.
Yeah, that makes me sick
Are you're anti-communist?
for the most part.
I think I am too, but I don't really think about it day to day. Like for
I
somebody
think about it all the time. Ever since March 2020 in Canada, how are you thinking about anything else?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's
That's
fair.
a good point. Yeah.
That's fair, but it surprised me for me to be. Why do you hate Warren Beatty? He's a communist.
That's a legitimate
I
reason.
mean, there's a lot of.
It's so old school, though.
I mean, it's kind of the tunnels, but I mean communists are sickos.
That really was an elderly man response.
Well, he's a fucking commie. That's what.
And he's wearing the angry white old man shoes.
New Balance.
The New Balance.
These are the ones that are made in the USA as well, so no fucking about. None of that slope shit.
You want to be out of a job? Buy foreign.
Speaking about out of a job, the Shark recently, he has a job, right?
Yeah.
And he,
Hey, stop bragging.
Listen, I'll preface.
I don't have a job. We're in a communist country. You don't need to have a job.
True.
You get fucking. You work for a company for a bit, then you get fired for being like not a homo, and then that's it. You just you get on government welfare, and then you just smoke weed and be racist all day.
I like that Lewis put "I'm a homo" on his resume, and then they found out that he wasn't.
He's like, listen, it was in the pronouns, okay?
If you're a man doing a desk job, it's assumed. But there's always a way that you slip up, and then they're like, he's normal. Got to get him out of here.
Shark, what was it? What was it like?
yeah.
So basically, like just to preface, I work as a law clerk, right?
Preface, but
And I work for lawyers. Shut up.
I kick you in your preface. Sorry, continue.
No, I deserve
wanna hear
that. I should tell you about the cutlery story after.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Yes.
yeah, we hired a bunch of legal assistants.
Okay.
And we had one person, and on the first day, she was late, really late. And then she forgot her ID because it's a secure building. And I'm like, well, why'd you forget your ID? She says, well, I didn't think it was important. I'm like, okay.
That's my new favorite pseudonym. Legal assistance.
Legitimately. And
I do like the confidence of from now on, any job I have, if I do something wrong, they go, "Why'd you do that?" I go, "I didn't think it was important." I didn't
On the second day.
yeah, I gauge my prioritization list.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to give like an obviously ChatGPT answer. Like whenever you ask like an Indian person something at work, anything, it's like, "Hey, do you have the document?" It's like, "Yes, I have the documentation."
Oh,
it's like it just sounds too.
Yeah. Well, she wasn't off to a good start, making a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
Within like the first 3 days, and then she storms out of the building and says, "I quit. My mental health isn't good." And I'm like, "Well, that was easy." But then my human resources says, "Well, we can't accept that as an I quit because she did it in a moment of mental crisis."
Gotcha.
Right.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
By the way, I told that to my American family last week, and they all started laughing and said, "You fucking Canadians, Jesus Christ." So polite.
Ultimately, you should have just let her leave.
That's what I said, but hey, that's beyond. That's out
In
of my hands.
hindsight,
She has
You
to put it in
should've saw
writing,
that.
doesn't she? You need it like in
No,
writing.
well, she did. She texted it to me, and she said it on the way out. It wasn't writing.
I'm about to tell you why your HR is a piece of shit, but finish the story.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did she use emojis in this text, or was it like?
She actually used one crying one.
That's so sad.
Dude, the text she sent was like 4 paragraphs. Like, I think she ran out of space. She probably would have written more.
Which crying emoji was it? Was it the 1-tier one?
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
single tear, not
Single
the like,
tear.
you know,
Not the sobbing
over
one?
the top,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
the
yeah.
single one with the tear and the sad like. Yeah.
Because it's important. There's a lot of
Yeah.
nuance in the.
Oh, absolutely.
And then followed by a peach and eggplant and droplets.
Oh God.
I like the scream crying one where like they're
Oh,
both
yeah,
running
yeah,
and
yeah.
the mouth's open. That's torture.
So we have to give her 3. HR says 3 more weeks of training.
Yeah.
She gets 3 more weeks of
Wow.
training. You document every little thing. So it was horrible. I felt like a commie. I was
Yeah, that's some real.
literally, I'd be like, "Hey, everything okay?" At 14:05 hours, I spoke with so and so. I asked if she was okay. Her response was jovial, but with a hint of
Yeah,
sadness.
yeah.
You know. So I got like entire
So is that
logs
to
of
like?
this.
Is that to like? Honestly, give her another shot at the job, or is that just like
It's half
busy work?
half that, half cover your ass.
And it's
in
like
case
building
there's-
a
Right.
case
It's-
to
no.
fire her in case you
It's-
have to.
Yeah, I'm saying her as an HR
100%
person.
cover your ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 100%, but I don't think it's necessary
No.
even legally.
Yeah.
I don't. This is why your HR's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because what you could have done is to cover your ass is send a reach out email or something
Mm-hmm.
like that to be like, hey, you know, you said something about your mental health. We can support you. Just
Oh no, we did
whatever.
that. We did that.
Oh, and she responded positively to that.
She said, "I will accept," because we have like a wellness unit, right? Like that does like
Oh, that does-
therapy and yoga and stuff. So
Yeah, that doesn't, but that doesn't.
Get this
mean you have
bitch a
to
downward
keep her.
dog.
so 3 weeks go by. It's not
Wait,
going
you got
well
like a,
at
you got
all.
like a wellness unit. That makes it seem like there's paramedics in there and like people.
No, there's actually
You have a personal staff. You got like a.
just 2 people, but yeah, it's
Damn.
like there's such and we have contracted therapists, like psychologists,
Wow.
right? Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Damn.
Because of the nature of what we see at my job.
It's like a real company then.
Well,
What-
My last company had one of those,
Mm-hmm.
and our contracted therapist was hilarious, but absolutely fucking nuts.
Oh, mine, because I have to go once a year. I always have to get tested psychologically.
That's just him, not
Yeah.
the whole, not all the
Wait, your
employees.
therapist was
They just look at
your
Shark
company
and they're
therapist was crazy.
Yeah, she was a cat lady. She was
Oh,
cool.
God.
Yeah.
Mine was afraid of saying
funny.
the name
She had
Trump. She would have to say
toxoplasmosis.
T word.
Oh, like Voldemort? Like,
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I know with everything going on, it's stressful, you know, with the big T word, potentially going to be elected as prior to the, yeah.
You should fuck with her and go, trans?
So yesterday, I walk in and my boss is like, so, how's the training been going? I'm like, terrible. Here, you want me to put in numbers, I have graphs and everything,
Yeah,
all my
yeah.
documentation. She's like, okay, we're going to can her. I'm like, okay.
Graphs.
Oh, dude.
and he's gonna can her.
It's the most
Graphs can.
There's a
Yeah,
pie
let me just take
chart.
them graphs and put them in here. That's great. I'm
Charts,
just
I had a rubric, I had everything.
I know what Lewis is saying. It's you're so overly professional with the graphs, and he goes,
Can
well,
her."
fucking can the bitch.
See, that's the American New Balance kind of guy.
He says canner. Canner. That proof for graphs, emails back and forth. Oh, canner.
Oh, I love canning people.
Yeah.
Put her in a can and chuck her off a
Honestly,
bridge.
I didn't even think about that because I was starting to get stressed out. Like, I can't believe, like, we got to do this. So I tell my boss, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, we got to do that. And he's like, oh, no, you got to do that. Like,
Correction. You.
yeah.
I'm
Like,
going on lunch.
I'm just like, isn't that like HR's responsibility? And he tells me, don't worry about it. So I left the room and I called my union. Was the first thing I did.
To like check, am I supposed to be doing
Yeah.
Am I a made guy now? As long as you kill her. As long as you can her, you are.
You know where the bodies are buried.
Oh,
Don't
dude.
fuck this one up, and yeah, you're a made guy.
You
And
want to be a capo?
they tell me, is she full-time permanent or is she a contracted employee? I'm like, she's contracted. She's like, yeah, it's fine. You can do it. I'm like, okay. So then I'm psyching myself up. Like, I'm
How
going
did you start it?
I sat down. I'm going to use a alias. Her name's Brianna. I'm like, well, Brianna, you had an assessment on Monday. You were supposed to reach 70%. And according to these charts, you reached 10%. Which means I'm terminating your contract as of this moment. You're going to get 2 more weeks of pay. Don't worry. I took care of that. And I'm going to need your ID and token to log into the computer back.
The ID she forgot at home.
Yeah.
Also, what a piece of shit he is. They have to provide 2 weeks. He goes, don't worry, I took care of that.
Yeah.
I got you. I fought hard for you. And
Listen, they didn't want to give it to you, and I was like, listen, this is Brianna we're talking about.
You think that 10% was easy?
So
You gotta
that-
give her at least 2 weeks.
She's a melanated queen who we must respect.
She seemed very accepting, like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, okay, no problem. And then I get a text from my boss, and he's like, is it done? And I said, we're still in the classroom. So he writes, walk her out. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I said, I got to walk you out now. So we start walking out of the building, and once we start getting to the exit, she's like, I got kids. I have 2 kids.
Oh my God.
She actually said that, like, I got 2 kids. And I was like,
When you first met her, she had 3.
oh, man. And I responded with,
Man, I got 5 kids to feed.
dude, I responded with, this job isn't for everybody. This is a really hard job. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
And then I turned around,
Laughed.
well, I went in and I just went like straight to my boss's office. I was like, "Phew. All right, I can close that fucking chapter in my life now. Jesus.
Did you pour a whiskey?
Well, I let it sit for a day, and I made the drive here, and I'm gonna go get a drink right now to drown that out.
Do you want to go get a little teardrop tattoo? After?
Your first, it's your first kill, Vinny. Congratulations.
It's a big day. Yeah, congrats, man.
So basically, he brought her outside. He walked her out of the building and told her have a nice day. As she started to start crying. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, I have kids," and he just left. He just walked away.
He said, I have kids.
No, she did.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Have a
Yeah,
nice
nobody
day.
cares
This job ain't for everybody."
They should. It makes no sense though. They should have never like
I'll be back.
not rehired her, but brought her back. Like there was no reason. Like you can send an email like, "We understand you quit. We are concerned about your mental health or whatever." But you don't like offer for her to come back. If you quit, you quit. It doesn't. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten any trouble. It doesn't. None
No,
of this makes
I
any
got
sense.
I got fired with no reason given, and they don't need to give one. But now I think about it, I did win a $1,500 travel expense in December, so I could just like expense any kind of like travel cost.
Right.
Pretty cool like perk. And I expensed 3 nights at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas.
Okay, but you won it, right?
Yeah, I won it, but like just from what he said, like HR people really hate the T word, Trump.
Yes.
If I was to submit an expense claim with vendor Trump Hotel Las Vegas,
Yo,
Like
I took the
9
loudest shit in his Trump hotel room. I recorded it. I gotta send it to you guys. It's really loud.
When
It was like the most
Like you
satisfying
recorded
shit.
yourself?
I recorded myself in the Trump hotel taking a nice shit.
I don't want this to be the new
it's such
Mitchell
a nice
Albus.
room.
That was a great room. You don't see my asshole yelling. It's just the sound.
This is the sound, the
Yeah.
percussive sound.
That's
of it.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the Vegas trip is kind of what got me fired indirectly.
Oh yeah,
Because of that? Like
because of the expense.
Kind of, well, a few things. Also, I did shit sales that month because I took like a week away during the worst like sales month.
Brilliant.
But to be fair, I almost got fired last year as well. So sales is always very like touch and go.
But what they told you is your numbers. When they told you,
Uh,
you think it's other things.
No,
as well.
they didn't actually.
What
My
did
numbers
they
were
say?
fine that month. It was.
So what did they say? They're like
They didn't
we're
give
like-
any reason. They're not. They don't need to give any reason. It's
Well-
just a business decision. I've been there for 3 years as well. It wasn't like.
Yeah, sometimes
You know.
it happens. Man.
Yeah,
Companies
but-
can just lay you off just because like restructuring.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But even though they don't have to
hate
give
that word.
any reason on your what do you call it? Your ROE.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to have put a reason.
Yeah,
So there's a reason, and I'm guessing your restructure is probably
Restructuring
what
is
they
usually
put
one,
for
but
you.
it's nothing-
Yeah, there was nothing egregiously wrong that I did. So
Yeah, so that means it's without cause.
It's without it's
With
without
cause,
cause
with cause,
downsizing.
without cause.
yeah, it was without cause. Basically, the relationship broke down, but that's not really a cause. Like
No, it's not.
the
Can
vibe,
the Brit?
the vibe got.
Can him?
Can him.
And the Brits.
How are Lewis's sales? Well, I got charts, I got graphs.
Shark
No, he
walks.
called something gay earlier, so we have to get rid of him.
Shark walks in with the graphs under his arms, and
He
shit.
didn't donate $5 to the gay charity and go and get like a rainbow cookie during Pride Month. So
Not
yeah.
even on Pride Month. Oh,
And also, I did try and like go to a different kind of department within the thing, which I think should be fine. But he took it as a personal.
Yeah, it should be, but some managers don't look at it like, oh, you're staying with the company. They take it personal.
Yeah, and then he like claimed that I went around his back on something as well. Like he was being a real bitch, to be honest. He was acting like my wife.
The biggest bitch I know.
What you should do now is reapply to that job you wanted from the outside.
No, I'm just gonna tell like Neil the Nutman and like Matt Baxter to go and apply there.
you people
And
are
I'm going to
Satan.
tell them all the good things to say that will 100% get them in.
Don't forget Charlie Paradise.
Specific knowledge.
Hey, Matt Baxter started posting on his social media again. It's
Yeah,
great.
he's back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Back in Toronto.
Return of the G.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's he's all Christian and hip hopping again.
Yeah,
Right.
and apparently the Christ Billionaire pod is happening like 7-8 months later, but
Well, I mean, it was promised. And
he
it's gonna deliver.
yeah. He posted an update. Yeah, yeah.
The pod's resurrected. Yeah.
It's like Jay Electronica's album. We're waiting like 15 years for it.
And
It comes out and it's just Jay-Z.
Is he doing mics or is he just on social?
I don't know what he's doing, but he's
Lee doesn't
he's back
know.
on Instagram.
Lee doesn't
back
know
on
he doesn't
Instagram,
do
that's
mics. So is he doing mics? He's like, what's
You know,
up?
I haven't
need
seen
to
him
do-
around because I haven't been there either.
No, Sacred. Did you see that video that he posted of himself at that open mic in Comedy Bar? And he's like,
No.
he's basically antagonizing the host. It was like a Tonight Show kind of format.
Oh, wait.
He's just like, you look uncomfortable, bro. What's wrong? And then he turns to the audience. He's like, you people are all Satan worshippers. Fuck you. Fuck you. It was great. Like,
Sounds like he killed.
oh, did
He
he
doesn't
ever?
need to do open mics because we're still talking about the one he did months later. He doesn't need to do anything. He just has like, he just posts one thing and
Also
we're all
to-
talking about it.
To be fair to him, they may have been Satan worshippers. We weren't there.
That's true.
They-
It is
They were
the
definitely
Comedy Bar.
commies.
Yeah.
That's what would have bothered Shark if they were commies. You guys are all.
I'm not gonna say all communists are Satan worshippers, but all Saint worshippers are commies.
And if you think about it, the Comedy Bar is what spawned Goblin and Ogre.
I think so.
That's where the story goes back. That's where
Well,
you guys
that's where
met.
we met. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's.
That's
thank
the
Comedy
butterfly
Bar.
effect.
It is a
Comedy
venue,
bar's
though. It is a good
abortion.
venue.
They want nothing to do with us.
It's kind of funny now. Like I go a fair bit, and there's just like Asian comics calling things retarded. It feels like things have just healed in a way that like no one can really put a lid on.
That's how I would describe Asian eyes. Retarded.
Well,
I don't know. They just look kind of
But
retarded.
that's the way to say retarded in an Asian voice.
Yeah.
well, no.
trying to
it's-
like explain something, and everyone just is like, "Oh yeah, fair enough."
Since I'm looking for a job, I probably shouldn't say this, but that's also where that term mongoloid comes from. Because you look like you're a Mongol, which is connected.
These are just
down
words and descriptions,
syndrome.
and they
It's-
make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm
Not
just
not
telling you-
Mongolians.
No, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It is
So
a
comes-
Mongolian reference.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a Mongolian reference.
Is it like a phrenology reference, like skull
Oh, I remember
shapes?
that. That's
Because I've been getting into my old racist science lately
Phrenology
to see
is
if there's any like
that like head statue.
study of the head,
And then they
yeah.
have those big tweezers, and they kind of like remember Mr. Burns did that.
yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
it's like that's phrenology. It's like they call it a pseudoscience. It's like racist science.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Science.
But still, like I feel like people have like in their body shapes as well. People have like kind of characters or like there's like certain characteristics that are like
I agree.
You mean like, look at this fat guy? He must like food.
or like look at this long nose. He must like money. It's things like that.
I get you.
Look at those big lips. He must love crime.
Like skeletal, deep sockets. Oh, she's actually a man. Like wide, like collarbone. Like there's a lot of things you can deduct from skeletal gender markers.
is that true? Because you see so many different people that like different like shapes and stuff. But I guess that's bones. I'm talking about.
There's
skin,
different
I
shapes,
guess.
yeah, but like men and women have different like bone structure, like the way that the hips are shaped, the way that the eye sockets are.
That sounds
the big
hateful.
Skulls.
Yeah. I think they look the same to me.
I mean,
I don't know what he's talking about.
Add that one to the chart.
I mean, I'm just explaining it factually. I do hate them, but I don't hate them when I'm explaining that.
Yes.
I find it kind of beautiful in a way, like anthropology. You know, it's kind of scientific.
I can't believe in science anymore.
No.
They've bastardized it. I don't know what to believe
Just
anymore.
now?
I don't know
Just
what to believe
now?
anymore.
To be fair, even when you get down to like bones,
Everything's a lie.
in the museums, most of the dinosaur bones are like fake.
So what was your
There's
breaking
like-
point on science? I know what mine was.
This conversation. I just went, you know what? Fuck it.
It was when
I got bored.
And I don't stop believing in
That was some
I
bullshit.
was like, okay, I'm done with this. Like,
Yeah.
Pluto not being a
yeah, when all of a
planet.
sudden they're like, Pluto's no longer a planet.
And then when the head of the Department of Health for the Biden administration said that, well, men can be women, and maybe we should put tampons in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I
that
was like,
that was a lot.
well, there's tampons in the bathroom at my work.
In the male bathroom?
In the male
So
bathroom.
you have to walk by it every day when you go wash your hands.
There's
And
a
just
big
be
si-
okay with
There's
it?
a big sign that says Aunt Flo. And then we have gender-neutral bathrooms now, so me and my buddies at work make it a point to go into the
The
women's
shark
bathroom
said
to
that
take
in a
the
very
nastiest shit.
gender-neutral way. We have gender-neutral bathrooms now.
You see,
Oh, please.
they started the war, but you guys are finishing it.
It's a guerrilla war,
Yeah,
man. You can't just go
100%.
balls in. You gotta break them in from the inside.
That's 100% true.
And the thing is I work with a lot of people who like to bodybuild, so they drink a lot of those protein shakes. So they have those, those protein shits,
yeah.
like they're blowing trumpets and they're fighting for their lives. It's a lot of those.
The way.
So ladies, thank you.
I would just every day take a few tampons from the male washroom, just so you and your coworkers can start wondering, like, who is the
Who's using these?
who's using which one of us is like,
And then complain when they run out.
That's a good idea.
My ass is bleeding.
you do that.
Leave 1-star reviews, not enough tampons.
You live those
Insufficient tampons in men's bathroom.
Oh, and flowed.
unrealistic amount of tampons. You need way more.
I propose a second machine.
Propose a second machine.
Yes.
You just empty that one.
We'll never run out.
And then the management wanted to put a proposal that we'd have like genderless change rooms, so like men and women or whoever.
Sick.
But they put that out to a vote to the employees,
And it was
and
voted down.
97% said against.
So there's like 3%.
Of creeps. Of creeps. Absolute creeps.
Pretty much.
You should probably look into I know you've got the who voted what. It wasn't a blind one because you wouldn't be that.
Oh yeah.
You should go check out the 3 people who voted.
You should look closer at that data.
How great it would be.
Survey monkey.
We're gonna survey in person, and there's just a dude who looks like me.
Yep.
Wow, your place is pretty progressive. More progressive than even like my workplace, which purports itself as
it's progressive at
My
the
former.
management level, the employees, the
our blue
grunts.
collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the grunts
our blue collar.
they're like neoconservatives. So one of my supervisors, he proudly wears his "Make America Great Again" red hat in the office, and he'll walk around and he'll just say he's from Trinidad, and he will just walk
To be fair,
around.
that's the Trinidadian colors. So
Yeah,
it's,
oh yeah.
you know.
No.
He doesn't know what it says.
Yeah, he's like red and white.
So he,
Red and white.
So-
colors.
so he's a Trinidadian
Red
guy,
and
right? He's from Trinidad, and
MAGA was my grandma's name.
My God.
MAGA. I used to call me grandma MAGA.
he gets up, he walks around the office.
Like grandma. My God. What a fucking hilariously stupid joke. God. Me God. Sorry, that's so good.
But yeah,
that's so good.
He'll get up and walk around the
Yeah.
office. He specifically comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, Shockman, you know who I hate?" Like, who's that? The French, like you. Yeah, and then he'll just like turn to a new person and go, "That's right, I'm sexist, I'm racist, I'm a capitalist."
This guy rules. He's like, what? We got to get him on it.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was like,
When he retires,
Yeah.
when he
Come on.
retires,
Yeah.
he's starting his own. Like he told me straight up, the second he retires,
yes.
he's moving away from Canada because he can't stand it here. He's moving to Texas. He's gonna start his own podcast, and he's gonna tell. He's like, I'm gonna let everybody know
Amazing.
everything. Yeah, yeah, and one thing I learned is he gets triggered by one word. Dinosaurs. He doesn't believe in dinosaurs.
Yes.
You bring up fucking dinosaurs, he'll actually stand up.
The skeletons are fake. The skeletons are like not real. They have like one bone that's real, and then
And
they
then
like
it's
make up the
plaster
rest
or
of
whatever.
it.
Yeah,
If you go to the
He
See the
rules.
dinosaurs.
He rules. He's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite supervisors. He's fucking hilarious.
I mean,
he
He's
sounds
only
great.
made supervisor. You got some good
got
people
some-
in charge.
I got some good ones. but-
objectively, I believe in dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But I also what did bother me about dinosaurs is when like we had all this like this is what dinosaurs look like, and then only like a few years ago they're like, well, they probably didn't look anything like that, and I'm like, but then what the fuck are we doing?
You know what I hate about dinosaurs? The names.
Oh, like
They're so
Stegosaurus.
long and complicated where you go like, I give up.
They're like
I don't
long
care to
Latin
learn about
names,
this.
yeah.
I think they did that intentionally to throw you off of learning more about dinosaurs. They just wanted to lie about it, but they're like, oh shit, people are going to be interested in these
The
dragons.
names aren't that
and then
difficult.
the names are like Dilophosaurus. It's like a Greek guy's name. It's the
It's
worst
not that
names for a
difficult.
creature. Dude, look deep into dinosaur
They're
names.
based in Latin, don't you? Isn't that why you're from?
fucking dumbly. He's like,
That's
I
what I
don't
was
believe in
thinking.
the
Try,
wasn't downloaded with
try
that one.
meaning three horns, Sarah tops. It's on the top of his fucking head.
We all know Triceratops, nigga. Come on.
He goes,
I'm talking about the Dilophosaurus.
I don't believe in the Tyrannosaurus.
No, what
I
I
don't believe
hated-
in the Snuffleupagus. None of them.
What I hated was when they like made them. They were like, oh, by the way, actually they weren't scaly. They were actually feathery.
That's
like
what I'm
birds.
saying.
I'm like,
Yeah,
what? You can't have them with
You can't just
feathers
change-
now.
Can't be
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
switching
That's
it up
bullshit.
now. They look like giant lizards.
I was also listening.
But they could have been just fucking birds though. Maybe they were fake and they were actually birds all along, and that actually had nothing to do with like.
There's definitely creatures back then.
Yeah.
Well, my thing, I
Big
was
birds.
just listening to a clip of I think it was Joe Rogan, but it was I just saw the clip, and he had some lady on, and she was telling this whole thing of like how how they think that they became chickens, like velociraptors
yeah,
or whatever,
yeah.
they became chickens, and that she like told some story about how they found out that the archaeologists at that time who were sending in the DNA samples. Were like really addicted to like fried chicken at that time. Like they were all like as a team.
Yeah.
They were the fried chicken
no.
team,
Always some
whatever,
shit
you know.
like that.
And so the DNA from the chicken that they were
Yeah,
eating
yeah.
got it mixed with the thing. So that's why they connected to the chicken DNA, and there's really no connection.
Yeah, same team was doing the fucking COVID tests. It's the same idiots doing science for everything. Like, if you actually speak to a scientist, they are the dumbest fucking people you could ever meet. They spend like 20 years on one thing that could just be complete nonsense, but it's propped up just by like
2 weeks to flatten the curve.
yeah, it's just horse shit, and it's no coincidence as well that like it wasn't just like the Diddy Diddy fucking rappers, movie stars. It was academics and like scientists
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Jeffrey
Well-
Epstein's island. Like he donated to MIT. He
Oh,
wanted
and-
to like do gene research and stuff.
And we all know, right? Diddy, not guilty.
Oh yeah.
I got
fucking
all of
crazy.
his not guilty and
his-
what he's guilty of. I'd be happy to read
the lesser
them.
He's basically only guilty of like getting an Uber for a prostitute. That's what.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much when you break
You
it
ever got a
down.
girl at Uber? Well, you've trafficked to.
It
You've
looks like a
trafficked to
food
bitch.
sign menu.
Give me a count 2 and a count 3. I have to order sex trafficking by force. The side of fraud and coercion.
Yeah. So he's guilty on 2 out of 5 counts, but it depends how you feel. I was watching like news like clips of it, and it's really you could see how they fell on the issue or whatever.
Yeah.
The places that really hated that he got off and thought it was bullshit, they would say Sean Diddy Combs guilty on 2 counts or whatever, and they would really promote the guilty part.
Yeah.
And they're the ones who really like thought, oh, I think it was a lot of bullshit.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this 3 exonerated or whatever on 3. It kind of depended on how you fell on it.
Yeah, basically he got booked as being a driver.
Yeah. So he got off because he's like.
He was Jason Statham. Jason Statham.
He was a transport.
No, he was just the he was the hip hop Jeffrey Epstein.
That's what I mean. But he was the best. Of the
What?
best.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. I don't think he was. The
he had
more-
cameras. He had cameras recording everything.
Didn't one local comedian say he went to a Diddy party?
Yeah.
Sean Dushan.
There is levels to the Diddy party.
Is that
though.
true?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
But there's like if you go into the after, it's like clearly defined of like this is the party where you can be normal, and then there's the rooms and the other stuff. You make a choice to go beyond into the rooms.
right.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's hard to prove that he
Like
was
an eyes wide shut.
coercive, because people like wanted to get a record deal, so they would go into the rooms. There was a clear like divide of like, okay, either you're doing the freaky stuff,
But
or you're just chilling, having some hors d'oeuvres, and then
Did anything come of that video where he beat the shit out of Cassie Ventura?
Well, she had already sued him and got a bunch of money
got a
from
settlement,
that.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's
yeah.
not like in the end, if she didn't want to pursue that at the time, and she
I
got a
see.
settlement, it's
Yeah.
kind of
And I bet you there were conditions like you're gonna drop it and that's it.
it's absolute proof that he's a fucking asshole and piece of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't matter legally anymore.
that's like an assault charge. What he was doing was
Yeah.
like,
Freak offs.
it was like a pretty organized thing. But he was getting blackmail on people. Like he would have like people, get spiked or whatever at these parties. They would get like raped on camera. They would film it, and then they would kind of use that as leverage on. Like,
Well,
Next on Lewis TV. Yeah. Those fellas
that's
do
what they
Sean
did, like,
in
or
a Diddy
like all
party.
these-
God.
well, that's what they said he did, but I think the jury didn't believe that there was like it wasn't. I think it was a bunch. I think this is the truth. I think there was less coercion going on. I think a lot of you say Hollywood, but it's really the music industry that I guess he was dealing with. But there are just a lot of freaks, and they were all what?
How many years did he?
Yeah, what was his sentence?
They haven't sentenced him yet. No. So they're reviewing his sentence, and the judge will decide.
He'll
And
get-
it's-
he'll get nothing.
This was in
It's-
California, right? So they have an entire separate trial. Strictly, they call it the penalty phase, and then they determine.
Right.
Yeah.
And
But
the,
it's on 2 counts.
so far from what I
Yeah,
hear, the
so
talks
I don't
are
expect much.
somewhere between 2 and 5 years that it'll fall on.
He'll get 6 months. He won't get anything close to that.
No, apparently the minimum is 21 months or something, but he's been in for 10 months. So are you
Yeah, they'll-
kind of
they'll
close?
take that
Maybe
off.
if they go to the minimum, you're kind of right.
If he's already
But
been in there, they'll do time.
He'll at least do a year based on the minimum, basically.
But like, I don't think. I don't know. I feel like he's an asset. I feel like he's like the FBI or like whoever is likes to just get
maybe.
a bunch of blackmail on people. And
Maybe.
it's better to have like a guy who's
Like a part of it.
Yeah, they used to have it with like gangsters back in the. Who was the big one who was like a big rat? He was like
Tupac.
No, he was like back in the days of like
You're to
Al
gangsters like-
Capone. Was it like a Bulger or something that was
Whitey
like,
Bulger.
Whitey Bulger was he the one who was like a police informant?
He was. They discovered later he had
Yeah.
been for like a long time.
'Cause, like,
he was
what
the,
they-
he was the Irish guy from
Yeah.
Boston who was Whitey
So what they
Bulger.
do is they like pick one guy to be the asset, and then that guy can kind of like do what he wants. But what it does, it creates like a sort of like stability in the
Right,
power. No
right.
one's like vying for
They're
power.
king-making.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they can kind of get away with doing like crazy shit.
Like
but
Jimmy
that's-
Savile,
Yeah.
the guy from your country.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's others.
Jimmy
too.
Savile's a really good example because he was linked in with Prince Charles. He was
The Vatican.
Yeah, he was big
Sorry,
with like
Lewis, who's Jimmy Savile? I've heard the name. I know
Yeah,
he's
I
from
don't
England,
actually
and I
know.
knew he was a
Yeah.
diddler.
Okay,
but
so-
like, what was he?
So
exactly?
Jimmy Savile was a children's TV presenter, but
Yeah.
mainly he was a DJ. He started off being a DJ and like throwing these parties, and then he would also like fuck these like young underage girls, basically.
Damn.
And then he would also be, he would do a lot of charity stuff, but he would also get access to like hospitals, and apparently he would also like do necrophilic shit with the dead
Oh,
bodies.
shit.
And he was into some like really really dark stuff. But they would give him like access to all kinds of stuff, and he would have friendship with Prince Charles and Margaret Thatcher's dad and
Iron Lady.
yeah. So he was like fully locked into like all of that. And apparently
If
there
you
was
look at a picture of him, I don't know if you've seen what he looks like. That's a real life goblin.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Just look at his face.
Yeah.
Throughout his entire life, like it got obviously worse and worse as he looked more and more like a demon.
And what's interesting is that the British Broadcasting Corporation, they kind of hid him for years because all these rumors were going around.
Looking at Jimmy
Johnny-
Savile's money. Yeah, dude.
No, sorry. As I was about to do this, I don't know why Key tried to call me. And I've never spoken to them on the phone before.
Yo, what a player.
Oh, he wrote, my
Oh, yeah.
bad, accident pocket dial.
Lewis sent me the funniest screenshot.
What's that?
It's like tons of missed calls from Neil,
Yeah.
and right at the very bottom it says wife. So Neil calls Lewis Moore his wife.
Oh my god, dude,
Such a funny picture.
this guy looks like a disgusting version of Ric Flair,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Wait, did you say he has something to do with Kids Show?
Yeah. He had a show called Jim Will Fix It.
Yeah, and he
hate
calls me on
this
Instagram and Facebook. I never answer him.
Yep. They
You know
gave him
how insane
access.
it is to give this guy a Kids Show.
They gave him
Dude,
access
it's
to
insane. Jim
not
Will
only
Fix It was the name of the show.
not only the healthy young children, but like the sick children who couldn't defend
Yeah, he
themselves.
molested all of them.
Every single type of kid that you could think.
yeah.
Like,
He's putting up Jordan numbers.
and apparently this is kind of more
Probably tell me to,
conspiracy
come on through.
theory, but like.
yeah, there is a show.
Apparently, Jill Dando knew something about the pedophiles within the TV and like film thing, and that's why she got shot on her doorstep. Same with Princess Diana as well,
Why did she get shot?
because she knew about
Shark
the
could-
pedophiles in.
Shark could be related to Jimmy Savile.
He says I'm not.
Shark will fix it.
Shark will can it.
Shark will get it. It's the best.
So this is a whole on a different subject of not of like pedophilia or whatever, hebophilia, whatever
Yeah.
that teenage whatever thing is. But even Greg Scarpa was a big hitman in the mob in the U.S., and he's known as the Grim Reaper, and he was like one of the biggest killers out of all of them. He killed the most people, and he was working with the FBI the whole time.
Yeah, because they get bold when they have the protection of
Yeah.
the. So they're the more violent ones. The people who are going crazy, and it happens today as well. They have like informants, and they're like assets. So that's what like probably Diddy was. Definitely what Epstein was. He was definitely like an asset of like
Golden
the CIA
handcuffs.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
You really thought that was profound.
It still is.
No, I know
Let me
exactly
just-
what Lee's getting at. I get it.
Well, I was
I was
even-
just being an ass.
That's what he was getting at.
this is a
I
really,
said what I said.
Hey, take it how you will.
this is a really bad example, but I was watching the fucking phenomenal show The Rookie. You know that show where it's like the
yeah,
old
the
guy that whatever. It's a fun, stupid show. But they were like, there was an episode where they're like, oh, you have to get an informant. And they explain, one thing that show does good is they try to be like realistic about what cop work is really like. What the fuck am I hearing?
Oh, like fuck 80s fucking
They're
sick music.
pumping that. That's how this podcast is going to end. It's very clear on the speakers.
It's gonna end on a really funky note.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah, take us out, Sank.
Ride
they
the
talk
bit,
about
ride the
how you get an informant, and even in this like cop propaganda show of explaining how you get an informant and how you use
Even
them.
in the show, how to get an informant.
How to kid
I'm
him.
snitching on my friends. Ooh. I'm an informant.
Kyle
I'm
Lucy, is that
sneaky
you?
dude.
I like it.
I betray my friends because I can't do 2 years. I'm a coward. I don't want to get raped.
Ain't doing 2 years.
I don't want to get raped.
Not by a rookie. Not by the rookie.
Sorry, what about the Ricky?
So yeah, in the show, even as they tried to do the whole cop propaganda thing,
Cop propaganda.
watching it, you're like, the whole informant thing is so sinister the way they have it, and what they were even like trying to nicely explain. Oh, we keep them on the streets and stuff. And in my head, I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, so yeah, this is how you get at Greg Scarpa. Like, this is how
I got a story where I actually witnessed that happen, like in person.
Oh yeah.
So during my formative years, this is
like a sing-songy way.
like
Finish the bit to the beat.
16 years ago. 16 years ago. I had the opportunity to do a ride-along with a police officer.
Along.
He rode along.
In a city in the
He
GTA,
rode
I'll
along.
mention that. Okay.
And he was not afraid of getting graped because he had big, strong policemen around him.
And this is back when weed was illegal, right?
Sure.
Right.
So we went to this like overpass, and there was a bunch of teenagers.
You smoke weed with the cops?
No. Well, basically, one of the teenagers had a glass bong, and then they see all these cops show up. And I was just there wearing this jacket that said something really lame in the back. But they would point at me and go, "Are you like a rookie or something?" So, anyways, so
You got mugged by the kids.
oh yeah, big time.
They're all scared of getting arrested, like, oh, and they see you, like, who the fuck's this?
Oh, dude, one guy actually like went straight up to me, chest to chest. He's like, no offense, but are you like new on the job or something, like in training? So the cop I was with goes up to this one kid who's like smoking weed out of a bong, literally just grabs the bong and says, "What the fuck is this?" He's like, it's a little weed, sir. He took the bong and threw it. No, he threw it and smashed it on the ground. Yeah. And then he's like, "Sir, if you want to arrest me, I'll tell you where I bought it." And the cop said, "You fucking, oh my God, I have no respect for, start singing, you fucking loser." And then he started like taking down the information. "Where'd you buy this shit?"
No way.
Yeah. He's like, "You're a fucking snitch." You know, he was like, the cop was giving the guy shit, but he's like taking down. He's like, "Yeah, come on, more. I want a fucking phone number. I want a Facebook profile. Like, come on."
Damn.
And then he clapped. I heard he held his two pistols together and clapped his nuts like a hammer.
You might as well haven't. Even I was like shocked.
I love how he's got disdain for him. Like, oh, you know, you can't even
you
smoke
are.
weed
And
without
then
betraying your friends.
when we got back in the car, like the cruiser, and he like cleared the call, he didn't really see. He just starts driving off, and I said, "Is it normal for you guys to like seize people's property and break it on the ground?" And he just like looks at me and goes, "Fuck that guy."
No, it is gross behavior. Like sometimes I'll get calls at work, like when somebody dies, they're like a beneficiary that can like make like money, get a check or whatever.
You hear the
'cause that
song that's
person
playing
died.
right now?
It's the perfect song.
Bad boys.
No, and people be like, "Yeah, my mom died. Did we get any money?" And you're like, "Yeah, you do technically, but that's like gross behavior." type of shit.
Dude, not you ever see like those families that are at the hospital and you got a dying elderly member and they start fighting over power of attorney, who gets to control the finances?
Yeah.
I've seen that shit a lot.
I hear it on the phone. It's fucking.
Remember
it's
Stefan,
gross.
the guy I used to know?
We all knew. This is the guy we all used to know.
Same director of Ava.
Oh
He-
my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
Featuring now Ava.
Oscar-winning Best Picture nominee.
The creator of Ava. Yeah.
He used to tell. He found out that he was cut out of his parents' will because he was arguing with them too much. So they actually told him, and they actually went to the lawyer and removed him out. They removed him out of their will.
Yeah.
And he actually said, "The second my father is on his deathbed, I'm going to go straight to the fucking hospital and I'm going to fight my wife's husband. Sorry, my sister's husband and my fucking sister, and I'm going to get put back on that. I'm going to get my fucking money." Like, he didn't care about his father being old and dying. He was like, "I want my fucking money."
So his parents knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. They absolutely knew what they were doing.
I watched the Rob Ford documentary. the other
Yeah,
day,
I did too.
And it reminded me of Stefan, that secret recording you made of him and his dad arguing over Rob Ford. Stefan's dad liked Rob Ford, and Stefan was just like, "He is a disgrace to the city, and he is an embarrassment, and he makes Canada look like idiots."
Because he's a fucking crackhead. I don't support marriage to smoke crack.
Him and his dad just yelling at each other back and forth.
screaming.
And this piece of shit just recording
I
it
was just
to
recording it
laugh about it
secretly.
later with us.
It was worthwhile.
It was so funny, yeah.
And all you would hear is like, if you had a job and you paid taxes, if you had your own house.
Just calling Stefan a loser throughout the whole thing.
Dude, this guy was 37 at the time.
Oh, Steph, the son?
37.
What? Okay, but I got a question. What is a reasonable amount of time after your parents die to start being like, all right, well, like, how much do I get? Like,
Not that long, but not while they're actively. Like, you know how they say there's a certain
Not
period of time where
dying?
you're mourning?
Yeah.
Maybe after that. Like, okay, let's take care of the finances. Right?
All right. How about this? This is a bitter question. Is what's a reasonable amount of time to pass for you to look at your bank account after you got your parents' money and just smile? Just have a smile. That's all I'm asking. Is what do you think is a reasonable amount of time after your parents' death to smile at your bank account?
That's a deep question.
Immediately.
For what I hear about your parents, you won't be smiling unless you think debt is funny.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna have negative in my account.
I'm going to find out that he started taking credit cards out in, like, my name or something, and I'm getting phone calls.
Yeah. No, what do you were gonna say? P.
No, it depends. So, because if I
Shark, move the mic towards.
Yeah, just point it at him. Yeah.
It'd be funny if like they like you get the phone
you
call
ever
it's
put
about
it
your
all in
parents
one
dying
account?
and you have to take the money out of your bank account.
yeah, I wouldn't even want to see
You
it
have to
in the one
process
lump
it.
sum, so I would spread it out purposefully.
You would spread it out.
Shit.
So you would have a separate,
Because I wouldn't want to see it, so I would put it in an account that I don't have visibility
like an
into as
investment
often.
account.
Correct.
But this is the question is eventually after 10 years that investment has been fruitful, you would eventually look at let's say your parents left you 10.
It gives you time to not think.
Oh, okay.
Then you can think about how you actually.
Yeah.
So
Wait, yeah.
realistically, your answer is years. Your answer is years.
Yeah, not days, not months, years.
Are we almost done? Because I want to end with, if you may, Shark, tell us about the SWAT
10.
team that had to intervene in the sex that was going on in the parking lot of your police station.
What?
Not a.
It's a great story. I
There's
just want to hear this. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna change a few details strictly for legal purposes. All right.
All right.
Ma-
This is another good song for like sex in a.
yeah.
In a parking lot.
Many years ago, in a
Many
previous
years ago.
life, in my previous workplace.
People
Okay,
were
my
fucking
previous
in
place
the
of employment.
parking lot.
I used
Not
to
the
work
place
night
I work
shifts.
at now, the place
Okay.
before then.
And sometimes I'd have to do night shifts at a police station. Sometimes.
I'm gonna change some details. This person was fucking. Let's call him the fish.
Nemo.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry. Different workplace.
Different workplace,
Yeah.
different time. And I had to do nights sometimes at a police station. And there was a person who I worked with, and she would used
Let's
to
call her
meet.
Brianna.
Yeah, let's go Brianna.
Let's call her Flipper.
Different Brianna from before.
Flipper. So, okay, I'll give you two perspectives. First perspective, I'm sitting there at my desk, and then I start to see the lights flashing, which, believe it or not, at a police station at 3 a.m. is very unusual because nothing happens. It's very dead. And I'm like, what's going on out there? I don't know what's going on out there. What was going on out there is that a person I worked with, she went out and started having sex with a cop while he was on like his lunch break. The police station security guard saw that, like, because it's a fucking police station and there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
Sees it, calls like the communication center, which is like where they do 911 calls, and says, "Yeah, there's like this car, something suspicious going on." Apparently, he could clearly see like her bouncing on the guy's dick.
So he's saying suspicious, but he knew.
But he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Calls communication center. All he says is it's a suspicious vehicle. I don't know what's going on. They don't work here. They had no cops because they were busy because it was a really hot day. They were all tied up in a bunch of shit, and like the only people we have left is the SWAT team, or they call it the TAC team. So they send the fucking TAC team out, and they surrounded the car.
And it was. Oh, okay. So I was gonna call the guy a piece of shit for snitching, but he thought it was just randoms who picked that parking lot.
No, he snitched because the girl who was having sex
Oh, he knew her. So.
was a bitch. Is a bitch.
Ah.
Will always be a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's a dirty bitch, and that's what I like.
And then there was because there was a cop involved, I think there ended up being a cover-up because some guy went on Twitter who claims to be a former police officer and wrote out the exact same details. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm like, I was there that night, and he's like bang on about everything. And I'm like, holy shit.
It was the guy fucking her.
And then
And his dick was really big.
all I know, and here's the interesting
She
thing.
was in pain, actually.
So here's the interesting thing.
3 queefs.
All the women in the office were like, "Oh my god, I couldn't like show my face in the office.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh my god, it's so embarrassing." Blah blah blah. All the other cops were like high-fiving this guy and going like, "Hell yeah!"
The SWAT team one by one.
Dude, not only did he not get fired, he got promoted. I'm not joking. He legitimately got promoted.
That's amazing.
That's all they learn is in SWAT training. Like how to fuck.
How to fuck.
They have abseiling things on their back. They just do like weird fucking.
Been great if they just open the door and throw like a smoke bomb in there.
And they start fucking people. Like, what the fuck? What's going on there?
Flares.
Artie.
She got
the
fired?
number one grape department in the
not.
police.
She did not get fired.
She got yelled and screamed at by like my old liaison, who was like the liaison to my boss.
Is that better or worse than the sex?
Like you could actually hear it. He would be like, "I am not gonna accept this in the workplace."
He was fucking her.
Yeah.
He was just jealous. This is unacceptable. My heart's broken.
After that happened,
You're in the SWAT or you're not.
dude. After that screaming thing happened, she left the place in tears, crying. Called me after because I was like supervising the office.
Thin blue
Goes,
line.
"Yeah, I have COVID," and took a month off.
Oh, and you were a supervisor? So she had to tell you.
Anyway, I was sort of a supervisor.
Oh, right. I get what you mean. Maybe
Yeah.
not system-wise directly,
Yeah,
but you were
yeah.
connected. Yeah, I get you.
And then,
Yeah.
anyways, that was the last of it. I hadn't worked there since, but that was pretty fucked up.
Thank you. I just wanted to hear that story again.
And
By the way-
there was a separate sex in the parking lot incident,
Oh yeah.
but this just goes to prove like how bad liars people are. There was this girl who was having sex with a car, and this looked like a drug dealer car in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
parking lot. Lowrider, neon lights. So I actually texted him like, "Are you inside like a Honda Civic with a spoiler, lowered, neon lights?" "No, I'm in a different one, but not the one that's in the parking lot right now." That's what she fucking
That's
texted me.
Different girl or that same girl? She did it
Different
again.
girl. Different girl. That girl got fired after a few months.
Oh, the original girl got fired, or this
New
second
girl,
girl.
new
The new
girl,
girl
new
got
girl.
fired.
Sorry, I
but
know
not
that-
for that.
Not for that, but that didn't help. That didn't help.
I like
So many sluts work
know.
for the cops.
And you know what's funny is that girl
Get
like,
fucked
who
in
got
the parking
fired,
lot.
like, and like meeting guys. She was Indian and she came from an extremely conservative family who apparently used to lock her in her bedroom and would only let her out to go work.
because she was an nympho.
Damn.
They
Guess
yeah,
so,
they,
man.
knew what,
Like,
they knew what she wanted.
buddy.
They were kind of protecting her, really.
What a sexy workplace you used to work for. What a nicely sexually charged workplace.
You know, maybe if we decide to do a part 2, I'll tell you some more sexually charged stories because there's more.
Really?
There's a lot more.
Cops are dirtbags. And I guess the admin or whatever that work there too.
Cops are dirtbags, the criminals are dirtbags, and they're fucking each other
Yeah.
in the parking lot.
My favorite stories is always the like correctional officers who are fucking prisoners, but
Yeah.
not the dudes fucking when the
female-
female ones are fucking the male prisoners.
That's the best.
the
That's
best
the
thing
best.
ever.
That's the best way around of that one.
What's
for
actually
sure.
funny is that with correctional officers, and this is some insight I know,
yeah.
the actual officers, like, they fuck each other's, like, wives and girlfriends. So then they get into fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
There's a
and
lot of
So there was one
LeBron
time,
James's mom going on.
There's
type
one
of
time I was
thing.
working on a case. It was an assault caused bodily harm case, and the fucking correctional officer came in, and you could see them like kind of arguing, and
Yeah,
chest
yeah.
to chest, and then he just fucking punches them like the jaw, but the guy lost his momentum, actually hit his head against the corner of the desk, fell down and started seizing. He didn't die, but
Jesus.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
I like Shark's reenactment of the events, and they got punched.
They didn't know what a punch was.
Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. All right.
right.
Thanks for
All right.
thanks for the good cop stories.
Yeah, it was
Thank-
fun.
thank
Yeah. All right.
Thank you, Lewis, for backing me up on how much I hate commies.